Welcome in, baby. I'm manifesting that this specific message finds those who are actually ready to awaken to their own power. To actually awaken to their own power and use it as a force for good in this world, okay? There's something so strong, like there's such a strong medicine coming through at this time relating to power, like the power that you hold as a human, like the human spirit, something about the human spirit, the indomitable human spirit I just heard. And I'm thinking of this Franz Kafka quote that I read this morning, which I probably won't be able to remember correctly, but something from his diaries where he was talking about how he could have built pyramids with the amount of strength that it took him to hold on to life and reason. And I fucking resonated with that. Like, that quote took me out. That quote literally took me out of my body, expanded me to the stars, and like right back into my body again. And I was just like, oh shit, there it is. And like, this is something that has been trying to come through for me. Guys, I literally brought Palo Santo with me. We're gonna light it up. I have been trying to find the essence of that quote within myself, or like I've been feeling that like there's been a part of me that's been seeking. I'm going through some really, really heavy healing right now, and like, not to get all personal on it, you know, but that quote was exactly what I needed to read, and it was like the final piece of the puzzle in like the realization that had been like trying to like come through but sort of didn't really have any words. Ooh, I've never ever cleansed my car before. I've never lit Palo Santo, God, it smells good, in my car before, but whatever, it's my car, I do what I want. So anyway, oh, that looks a bit sus, doesn't it? It's literally a stick of wood, guys. It's Palo Santo. Where was I? So the thing, and I have been seeing this in so many different like iterations all around me. I'm also being reminded of seeing a mother in the supermarket car park with her children, and she was like two young kids. She was unpacking her trolley. She was getting like one baby on one hip. With her other hand, she was like pointing to tell the other kid where to go. She was like opening the door, making sure that he got safely in the car. She was like, you know, unpacking the groceries, and like you could just feel her aura enveloping their whole family, like enveloping that whole segment of the car park. Like, she was doing like so much energetic work all at once, you know. And I was just like so admiring of this woman, and just like how she was like, and like, you know, she was like doing all these things all at once, super normal things that you do as a mother, as a parent, you know. Don't have to be a mother, but like you could tell like how protective she was, how aware she was of both of her children. She was like, had this like full body awareness all around her, sensual awareness, sensory awareness of what was happening in her environment 360. She was aware of like, okay, there could be cars going past, and like trying to corral the kids, trying to keep everything safe, trying to make sure the shopping trolley isn't going to like, you know, slide down the hill and go away, unpacking the groceries, making sure that everybody's emotional needs are being met, that her kids are feeling safe. So much like soft skills going on all at once. And like, I don't know, I was just watching her, and like I was just watching her and kind of in awe of this woman. Confirmation growl from the car. And like that, the Franz Kafka quote was the essence of that woman. I was like, this woman, you know, this woman could build pyramids. This woman could move mountains. She's so competent. She's like so able to like navigate this world, like doing so much at once. And you could just tell she's so present in her body, so aware. And there's something about that, about how all of us have this innate gift of presence and of power. And here's the thing, bro, life is hard. Like, humaning is hard, okay? Grief is hard. The things that occur to us in our life are so hard. So many of us go through situations which then cause, you know, trapped energies, traumas, coping responses that are not actually for our highest good going forward, or like maladaptive coping strategies, basically, where we kind of learn that the world is one way, or we learn how to be in the world one way, and it sort of served us at a time that we were in survival, and then it gets to a point where it becomes restrictive and it's no longer serving us. Oh my god, there's a donut in my backseat. Yes, I have been craving donuts so much. This is a little stuffy one. You could be craving donuts right now. But there's something about this human indomitable spirit and the power that we hold, and it meets, like, okay, here it is. It's kind of like the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, okay? And so each of us within us do have this unstoppable force, but it's just that not all of us are able to use it at its full capacity, or to be effective in our lives, or to build pyramids, to build empires. The word building comes through like on a daily basis for me right now. I'm getting it all the time. Building. And this year is a Capricorn year as well. It's the year of the 10. It's a year of building. It's a year of legacy. It's a year of time and energy and understanding how those things like outputs, inputs are working in the world, are building something in the world. It's a year of like becoming a master. It's a year of like concrete, tangible evidence in the world. It's a year of being recognized. This is the time. Now is the time. And the power, the absolute power that we each of us hold, it's so, like, I saw it in that woman, and she was using it so effectively in her life to be the matriarch of her little tribe. And that's so fucking beautiful, okay? And like, we each have that power that we move in different ways in our lives, and that we channel in different ways in our lives. But we have to also be able to address the immovable object that's in the way of that power. Like, if we each have this power inside of us, why is it that it's not equally coming out and equally shining forth out of all of us? It's because there are blockages. It's because there are traumas. It's because there is unresolved shadow work that is happening. And there's absolutely no shade here, and no shame. And there's no like rushing things forward, because I know if you're here, you're probably doing the work. This video like will be manifested to people. You will have called this in when you are ready to awaken that power. And the thing is, it is working through you all the time. It's just that what it's doing, if it's not working outwardly in the world to manifest things, to bring in things, to be effective in the world, if you know for sure that your life is not like coming into fruition in the way that you want it to be coming into fruition, it's because the power is tied up in these internal mazes, these internal blockages, these internal like structures that need to be addressed so that the power can flow freely inside you and from you outwardly. This is so fucking crucial. I don't always be cursing my videos, but when I do, it's necessary. It's necessary, okay? I have to put like an exclamation point, like have to underline this 3 times. NB, nota bene, take note, okay? This is actually important. This is actually important now. Like, this is crunch time. And let me just take a break for a second, because I can tell the teacher is screaming at the class. It's not going to be effective, okay? Let's just soothe our nervous system for a second. Let's soothe our nervous system. Let's take a second. Like, when you're in school, you know the exams are coming at the end of the year. You know you have enough time to study. You know you have the intellect to take in this material, to digest it, to understand it. you know, and to become competent in something. Oh my god, my camera is shaking. I hope you can't see that. It's shaking so hard. It stopped. That just threw me off. And then, so that's the exact same thing that's happening right now. It's like, yes, you can choose to ignore this. You can. You can choose to bury your head in the sand. You can choose to ignore the work. And you'll see people left, right, and center doing this around you. And it can be frustrating. But when you know better, you do better, right? Not everybody does, but you specifically, when you know better, you do better, okay? There's absolutely no point in berating yourself for the things that you did when you were in survival mode. You might still be there now to a certain degree, and there's no point in like disempowering yourself, being like, I should have known this sooner, I could have done that better, whatever. Like, we're each doing the best that we can in like the time that we have, but not all of us are taking things so seriously. Not all of us are actually doing the work. Not all of us are actually like looking at those internal structures and realizing that, yes, I do have heart's desires, but I don't have the capacity right now. Why is that? You know, yes, I do have like a dream on my heart, but somehow I can't get out of bed in the morning. Why is that? Like, there's like these things that come in to block us, but they're not meant to take us out. They're only meant to show us where the energy is trapped, where the energy is stopped. They're gates, you know. You need to be able to be like, this is a gate. That doesn't mean, oh, that's the end of the world. It just means you need to learn how to open that gate. Like, it's an acknowledgement of something that is here and present in your system, in yourself, in your emotional body, in your physical body, that actually needs to be addressed. It doesn't need to be ignored, because like, again, that's just like a buildup of power. A buildup of power is coming behind that blockage. So much of our power goes into like either maintaining internal structures that don't serve us anymore, you know, negative beliefs, negative self-talk, limiting ways of thinking, like kind of like maintaining old crusty ways of thinking that were like handed down to us from generations that we really don't believe in, or that don't really kind of ring true for us. They don't really have any place within us at all, but we have just sort of inherited them, you know, like a bad set of china that we never liked in the first place, but like now we have it and we're too guilty to get rid of it, right? Somebody else could love that, but oh no, it was our great grandmothers and we couldn't ever get rid of it, right? Like, some of us just need to get rid of those old structures that actually are just like gathering dust and taking up space internally within you. They're not actually providing you with strength and stability in your life. They're debilitating. They're actually actively draining you, and they're using up life force energy in order to keep them maintained and keep them going. And I'm trying to like think of a super practical way that I can say this, because I really don't want this to be very nebulous, very pie in the sky, very like, oh, it's like conceptual. Like, this is not conceptual work necessarily that we're doing. It could be that, okay, let me think. Oh, I just had a butterfly come to the car. Say, for example, okay, you look in the mirror and you say, God, I'm ugly, for example, okay? Or like, wow, I'm so something, whatever, like pick your adjective, right? And you repeat that to yourself every time that you look in a mirror, and like your brain will be like, but it's a fact, I am ugly, right? Who cares, okay? It's not whether it's true or not. That's like literally beside the point. Like, the point is you need to be reinforcing things that are empowering to your body, empowering to your system, like speaking words of affirmation to yourself that are going to build you up rather than disempower you. Words that you would say to your own young child, rather than like, you know, you would never say to your own kid, wow, you're ugly, every time you see them. That's fucked, right? That's completely absurd. So why would you say it to yourself and act as if it's true? That's completely fucked. It's the same level of absurdity. You shouldn't be doing that, right? And I don't like to use should on this channel, but really be so aware right now of how you are speaking to yourself, you know? internally as well as externally, because your body hears everything, okay? Your inner child hears everything, and they believe you. They believe the words that you are saying to yourself, okay? So if it's not something that you would want words spoken to your own child, someone else's child, somebody very dear to you that you love and adore, if you wouldn't want somebody saying the words that you're speaking to yourself to that person, then why are you speaking them to yourself? It's really harmful, okay? And that's just like an example, okay? Because a lot of our power can get, again, like caught up in those like twisted narratives that we use internally, sort of as a means of self-protection, which sounds contrary, but guess what? Humans are tricky people, okay? Humans are tricky little creatures. Somehow our body and our mind and our, like, the way that we were wired, it was before our frontal lobe was developed, okay? It was before logic was developed, okay? Your whole nervous system, which is a physical, like, messaging system that runs through your physical body, was structured, was wired before your logical circuits were fully developed, okay? So you cannot use logic to rewire your nervous system. You know, you cannot use logic to like change your bodily reactions to things. Your body is already wired to have specific reactions. And so it's like you have to use like the softer skills. You have to use compassion. You have to use presence. You have to like allow feelings and thoughts and patterns to come up within you and allow them to be held, allow them to be present. Sit in presence with that voice that thinks that you're ugly, and recognize, like, thank you for trying to keep me safe, right? Like, maybe if I'm ugly and if I constantly reaffirm it to myself, then I won't have to be so hurt if somebody else thinks I'm ugly, right? Maybe I won't be so hurt if someone else rejects me because, whoa, I'm too clever for you. I already rejected myself first, right? So then it's going to take the sting out from somebody else rejecting us, when really we want to be beautiful, when really we want to be seen as beautiful, when really we want to be told that we're beautiful, right? Again, just an example. I super recommend you to go to somebody who actually knows like quite a lot more about nervous system, rewiring, resettling, healing than I do, because I'm not an expert. But the nervous system is so crucial to, like, again, that free flow of energy and messaging within the body, with being able to show up abundantly in your full power in the world and being able to feel comfortable in your skin. And I think a lot of our power is in being comfortable in our skin, because then we can handle a little bit of disagreement. Like, we can handle people who have differences of opinion. We can handle a little bit of aggression, you know? There's a lot of things that we can handle more so when we're comfortable in our skin, without being so reactive, without being so accommodating to people, without being so people-pleasery, you know? Like, there's a lot of things that we can do when we start to settle the nervous system, when we start to be comfortable in our body. And like, again, it's like that delayering, like there's no speed here. And again, you cannot rush it. There's no point forcing it forward. It won't work. But the internal blockages, like, they are so real, and now is the time to really acknowledge them. And a lot of the time, that's all it takes actually, is just acknowledging certain internal blocks, and they soften over time. Like, a layer of them will dissolve, and then suddenly it's less of a blockage and you have more energy flowing around that blockage, right? And then, you know, like, maybe a few months later, you'll come back to the same realization that you had, but it'll get in deeper, and you'll realize it on a deeper level. And so another layer of that will dissolve, and again, more energy will be flowing freely around that little blockage as it shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, and suddenly it's just dissolving, and there's more of a free flow of energy right there. Excuse me. And this is happening like water on a stone, I'm hearing. This is happening on an ongoing basis. It can be kind of, again, like, we can clench a little bit, we can flinch a little bit when we are like, oh God, there's a blockage, I gotta get it out, you know? And then we're at loggerheads again, and like, it's not about, like, tackle the problem head on. But again, the softer compassion, like, and the way that you have power and the way that you have fierceness, you need to use that power and that like real drive and motivation to, this is tricky, in order to enable the gentleness. This is so tricky. Like, if you have gentleness without the fierceness, then you're just gonna let the blockage like overwhelm you. You're just gonna be like, oh, okay, all right, I'm just gonna be gentle about it, and like it's just gonna flatten you. But if you have the fierceness as well as the gentleness, then you're able to confront yourself. Then you're able to hold yourself and be a safe container for yourself in a compassionate way. You need both. You need to have that strength and that power and that fierce compassion. Is that Gabor Mate? I feel like it is. Fierce compassion, from his modality, compassionate inquiry. It's a form of therapy. And it's that compassion which does not back down. It's the compassion which is able to have the strength to sit with someone when they're going through a deep trauma. Sit with yourself when you're going through a deep trauma, a deep feeling, a reactive feeling, like a deep feeling, like something that's, or maybe an emotion. Actually, I should do my research on, because I know feelings and emotions are different. But regardless, like going through something that's very deep in your system and having the compassion and the strength, you need both to be able to sit through that and to be able to hold that as it like comes up, as it is expressed. 14:44 on my time. Oh my god. And it was 21:44 on the clock as well. So like fours are significant here, like the strength, the stability, okay, and the compassion. They go hand in hand. You know, it's very like yin yang energy there. I hope that this is translating. Please let this be translating. And I think that's really what it boils down to. There's so much power within you. And it's about having the strength and the compassion to acknowledge the blockages, to allow them to be there. And that's the counterintuitive thing. Like, as soon as we're like, wow, I see you, you're welcome here, you can be here, I'm here with you, then they just disappear, they dissolve, you know. That's all it really takes, is like acknowledging that it's there first of all. And sometimes even that can be too much for people, and that's why a lot of people are stuck in procrastination. That's why a lot of people are stuck in their lives for years, literally for years, like literally for years, stuck in the same place because they won't do this kind of work. It seems counterintuitive, and like, or at least it probably does to people who are like, there's no way I can look at that. And so all of their life force energy is going into like blocking things off that they need to look at. You know, they have their inner child inside them screaming for attention, and their whole life force energy is going into like holding up a screen, holding their inner child down, holding their inner child quiet, putting their hand over their inner child's mouth, trying not to hear, trying not to see. It's so sad. It's so sad, because this is like, it's really, really painful work actually a lot of the time to do this inner child work, to do this inner recognition. And a lot of people do not have the capacity to hold themselves through these feelings because they're so deep. Like, oftentimes we do need a therapist, we do need a close friend, you know, we do need somebody who actually knows, like a mentor, somebody who actually knows about how to facilitate us as we go through these deeper experiences. And so most people just go through their days and their lives like feeling kind of off, or feeling kind of drained, or feeling kind of bored and disempowered. And it's not because like life has got on top of them, and it's not because they were like dealt a bad hand. It's because they have these inner systems that are in play that are eating up their positive, powerful life force. We all have the same life force. We could all be building pyramids. Some of us are using our life force to mother our children, to keep our family going. Some of us are using our life force to build up a business from the ground up. Some of us are using our life force to shut down our inner child, our traumas, and to do everything that we can to dissociate from life and to not feel. And it's not that like hope is lost, because I feel like everyone is given opportunities in this life. But you do have to choose. Like, nobody else can do this work for you. Nobody. And it can be a lot. It really can. It can be a lot. And it can be scary. But it's so worth it. It is so worth it to free yourself and to free your inner child from the suffering that they are still holding. And there's probably like layers that you kind of know about, and underneath those layers there's probably even deeper layers that you aren't even fully aware of. And like, the more that you go down the healing path, like the more layers that feel safe to come up and to be revealed to you, right? And like, the more that you're able to acknowledge those layers and heal those layers, the healthier you will be in your daily life. The more healed, the more whole, the more like effective and powerful and free and like abundant and joyful that you can be in your actual now, day-to-day, everyday life. Because you can't really access those layers to that free extent until you free yourself internally. There's so much freedom that you can access, and it's all right in here. And it's not from watching another YouTube video, and it's not from scrolling, you know, and it's not from meeting the perfect person, and it's not from like, you know, being in a relationship. It's really not about any of those things. It's not about getting that dress or getting that handbag. It's about like meeting yourself in here, you know? And I so pray for that for all of us. I'm manifesting that for all of us, that we can meet ourselves in those deep places, that we can hold ourselves in those deep places, and that we can find that fierce compassion for ourselves and for others who are going through it as well. It is my wish that we all be free. World peace, world freedom, right? And we can do that in here. We can do that within ourselves, within our own hearts. That's the message. I'm so grateful to be back here. I'm back in one of my favorite ever spots. I'm back, and I'm so grateful to be here. This is one of my favorite little roads, and it's been closed for a while, and the road is healing, and so am I. I feel very like connected to this specific place. There's butterflies everywhere right now. And the grass is grown because they haven't been able to get any mowers down here. Oh, it's so perfect. It's so perfect. Mama Earth heals herself always. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. This was a long message, a long ass message today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much for being here with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You truly are healing the world. The work that you're doing internally with yourself, you are actually healing the world right now. And that's incredible. I honor you so much. Hariom. I'll see you really shortly in our next message together. Love you guys. Bye.